Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, I'm going to be doing an update on the entire MamaMax situation, right? Because honestly, I didn't really think I was going to do a follow-up video to the first one, but after everything that's really kind of been transpiring over the last, I don't know, a couple days or so, it just kind of became more and more apparent to me that, yeah, it's borderline unhinged at this point, you know? I mean, keep in mind, this is a guy who, according to his recent video, was, basically putting accountability back on himself and was finally taking a look in the mirror about so many things. It's just insane to see somebody 180 so quickly away from oh, I'm taking responsibility, I can't believe this, right? I need to, look at myself and place accountability on myself, to just going off the rails, right? Threatening to sue other YouTubers because they talked about the situation and quote unquote violated NDAs, right? Outright claiming that you could cancel Moist Critical according to a leaked video or whatnot. We'll take a look at that, of course, in this video, but just so many why kind of situations, right? It just blows my mind why this is even happening. It just, in total, it's with this kind of situation, you'd think, hey, maybe I should just not engage with this anymore. I should not be saying these kinds of things and bringing unnecessary attention to myself, but then it just seems like MamaMax wants to continue this by any means necessary, and it just looks more and more like a desperate spiral at this point. So obviously, to kind of start all of this, it was really Mutahar and MamaMax that this is all really talking about, but given the entire situation that's been going on with MamaMax, Mutahar had made a video, a couple other people also made videos, but Mutahar had made a video talking about it. That video, for those of you who don't know, is called MamaMax is a complete fraud, and it has, it's an hour and 20-minute long video. That's kind of the context behind it, right? Well, it came out after this video was posted that before this video was posted, MamaMax was in Discord DMs with Mutahar, and he had made subtle threats that they would quote-unquote respond to him if he dropped this video, and that it would be super ugly for his career and his brand or whatever, right? Kind of thin-veiled threatening him, trying to I guess scare him into not talking about this. But of course, Mutahar doesn't back down to him. He posts the video anyway. Next thing you know, right, this whole thing begins. This fucking spiraling out begins. So allegedly Max has this private evidence Discord server where he collaborates with people on his quote unquote investigations, which, by the way, at this point, a lot of the accusations and a lot of the things that are being said in this entire broader dialogue about MamaMax is that, he's basically been mixing up truth and fiction and whatnot in his content, basically sensationalizing these victim cases that he's supposedly, helping in or whatever. And so he goes in this server and allegedly a message gets sent out basically trying to recruit people for a $1 million lawsuit against Some Ordinary Gamers, or Mutahar, because he quote unquote breached their non-disclosure agreement and incited harassment on live streams and whatnot. So everyone, Spencer and I are considering a class action lawsuit against Mutahar for breaching our non-disclosure agreement, inciting harassment on live streams, defamation, and causing emotional distress. He's extremely rich, so the lawsuit seeks $1 million in damages to be distributed between all of you. All you would have to do is testify against him, particularly regarding his actions, not speaking to any of you about the evidence and the impact his behavior has had on you. But Spencer's agreed to be the lead plaintiff, and I'll do all the hard work, quote unquote. Please let us know if you're interested. This could have a huge impact on the case against Camden. Someone responds, dude, no, can this stop? And then that's the end of the screenshot. Now, keep in mind, this is a Discord screenshot. These things are not 100% foolproof. Keep in mind, these are all just alleged screenshots and whatnot against MamaMax, but given the way he's behaved about things for basically years at this point and the way he's kind of presented himself over time, it really makes it a lot harder to believe that he wouldn't behave this way and he wouldn't act completely out of pocket like this. But anyway, to get back to the point here, this is just a completely fucking absurd thing to even suggest, right? So I'm not gonna lie, personally, one of the things I really hate the most about seeing YouTubers threatening to sue other YouTubers is by making threats like that, these people are trying to legitimately dig into and steal the rewards, basically, of other creators in the community that they both partake in and that we're all supposed to be working together in each other's best interests in, right? Like, we should all want all YouTubers to make more money and be as successful as possible, but then people let their egos get in the way, they let their pride get in the way or whatever, and instead of allowing that to happen, they threaten fucking lawsuits whenever, you know, someone in this case comes out and speaks about something, right? Like, this is just so fucking pathetic looking, right? And it's one of those things where it's just like, you look at the wording of it and you can tell that this lawsuit, supposedly lawsuit, right? It's not being made because these people like legitimately think that Mutahar did something wrong. It's not about, oh, Mutahar did this, he like committed a crime, he harmed our reputation, right? He's taking a fucking expose, essentially, YouTube video about him. He's writing it off as if it's like some sort of personal slander, when that's really not the case at all, right? He's claiming it caused him emotional distress, which it's pretty fucking clear there's some emotional distress, to say the least here, but what it really comes down to is that sentence right here where he says, he's extremely rich, so the lawsuit seeks $1 million in damages to be distributed. It's not about seeking justice. It's not about quote-unquote breaching our NDA, which is the pussiest reason I've ever heard, right? It's not about this supposed harassment or whatever, which, you know, if he thought that was the case, he wouldn't be speaking about Mutahar, even in private, where he thinks that it could be possibly leaked. Which anyone with a fucking brain would know that a Discord full of people on the internet you've never met before is not some, like, I guess, plugged up safe place to be, but I mean, obviously he's not acting in right mind. But like, it's clear that it's about the money. It's not about, hey, we were wronged. It's about, hey, how can we get a fucking paycheck? Hey, how can, even though we've been called out in this situation, how can we try to fuck somebody else over? How can I try to extract personal revenge in this situation? That's what it really comes down to here. And like, you can really tell how like these fucking YouTube lawyers who've gotten their degrees at Reddit University, how they really don't know anything. Like he says here, well, Spencer's agreed to be the lead plaintiff. I'll do all of the hard work. Like, what hard work do you think is gonna happen? I mean, supposedly, according to people in the community, this is the same guy who thinks that fucking ChatGPT is like a legitimate source of information in the legal world, right? Not to be an asshole or anything, but like anyone who would think that ChatGPT is going to get you a good law degree or like a law case going, man. I just want to say I've got some beautiful, pristine, crystal coast Clearwater beachfront property to sell you in Idaho, okay? Why don't you come and take a look at that for me? So it's just fucking mind-blowing to even see somebody even go this far, right? To like even suggest suing somebody else to try and like take money out of their pocket, quote unquote. Well, he's rich, you know, fuck it. Who cares if I'm taking money that might feed that guy's family or, you know, pay his bills or support his life, right? He made a mean video about me on fucking YouTube, right? That realistically didn't do anything to my reputation that wasn't already going to have been done by my own conduct and everyone else's natural reaction to said conduct, right? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man. But unfortunately, this is not where the tomfoolery ends in this entire situation. So then another clip comes around, right, and hits Twitter and everywhere, allegedly of MamaMax on this like unhinged rant, right, where it's like an unreleased video or something, okay? It's a recording of MamaMax. He's got Charlie or Moist Critical or Penguin Zero's YouTube channel pulled up, and he's just like having a fucking Joker fit about how he could cancel Moist Critical and he could cancel him because he's the pedo hunter, guys.
I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you, and I choose not to. It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter. But I
cannot believe anyone would actually say this and mean this, right? Like, what am I hearing right now, dude? Who exactly do you think that you are? Like, this is just wild to me, man. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about at this point? And unfortunately, this goes on, okay? This goes even further, and it gets even cringier and weirder, man. Like, dude got a video made about him and got so upset by it that he's, like, self-destructing over it. And I don't understand understand why, right? Like, I get it. The video and like all the points that are being made and all the things that people are saying about MamaMax, right? Like, yeah, it makes sense. Oh my goodness, right? That probably fucking sucks to deal with. But ultimately, it's not like these are invalid points that people don't have the right to be saying or shouldn't be saying. And to like insinuate you'll sue people or even outright threaten to sue people or like different shit like that just because they're about to speak out about something. It's just wild to think that that was even gonna go okay. And then, like I said, it gets even fucking worse, man.
I clicked this video because I thought he was talking about me. Are you okay? Are you sure?
Why do I do this to me?
Because I get it. Like, I get what I'm doing is creepy and obsessive. It is. But I promised them I would not let them down, and I will not.
I just really don't understand what MamaMax thinks that he is. Does he think he's the fucking Joker? I'm confused here, man. Like, bro thinks he's about to put up some fucking villainry in Gotham, bro. I'm like, dude, who do you think you are here, man? This guy's over here acting like he's just like fucking like Satan. I don't know. You know, what I'm doing is creepy and obsessive. Why would you say that? You know, why would you say that? And then out loud you say that and you're like, you know what? That was probably the right thing and I should keep doing what I'm doing. And then at the end, he's like, oh, but I promised them I won't let them down. You know, I will not let these people down that I'm supposed to be protecting or whatever, right? As I move one of the supposed victims of this fucking thing into my house, bro. Like, that's also so weird. There's just so many layers to this, right? Of just weird, wild shit that just doesn't add up correctly. It sounds weird. It sounds bad. And then, you know, when even the slightest amount of blowback happens, this is how he's behaving, bro. Like, oh, I gotta not let them down. I hate to be the one to fucking break this to you here, bro, but you are not the police, okay? You are not the fucking federal or local or state or like regional homeowner association security guard. You are none of that, bro. You're not Walmart security. You're not fucking liquor store security. You have no authority anywhere to do anything, man. Like, yeah, you're doing YouTube investigations, you're supposedly holding people accountable or whatever, but I think ultimately the way that things like this should be handled is not through taking these types of situations, potentially mixing fact up with fiction just to make entertaining content out of this shit, and then to sit here and like stroke your own cock like you're fucking, oh bro, but I can't let my victims around here down. Like, dude, you need to relax a little bit and you need to decompress from this YouTube shit, bro, because apparently it's gone so far to this guy's head that like he legitimately fucking thinks that he's like saving people or something. It's like, dude, this is ultimately at the end of the day YouTube content, okay? If you do not have authorities involved in your hunt or whatever, if you are not getting these fucking people who's like doing these things where they deserve to be charged, if you are not getting them charged and sentenced to jail, please stop pretending to everybody like you are some sort of fucking godsend who is saving the world, okay? Because that's simply not the case. Now, like I said, is it nice when people find these people and expose them or whatever and like are supposedly bringing people to like accountability? Yeah, but unfortunately in so many of these cases, it's ruining legitimate investigations where police could have the opportunity to intervene and they could actually hold people legally accountable instead of getting them canceled on social media or getting talked about in a YouTube video, right? And this is coming from somebody who has covered allegations and has covered things like this, right? Ultimately, if I never had to talk about any of that shit ever again and it meant that all of those cases got solved, 1,000,000% that's the way to go, bro. Like, to sit here and pretend like just because you're making YouTube content about this shit, to like think that you have the right to act this way is just fucking, it's just insane. It's one of those things where it's like, I feel like MamaMax needs to just kind of like log out of the YouTube channel for a little bit, like just stop trying to like shoehorn this persona, dude, because it's even gotten to the point where other respected creators who were like previously somewhat affiliated with MamaMax in any way have had to just like come out and like issue statements. Like, for instance, a YouTuber that I personally really like, Nexpo, he had to make a tweet that basically addressed all of this shit so that people weren't confused about it, right? I'd like to address something many of you may be wondering, since we have so much audience overlap. There's a situation that's been unfolding lately lately regarding MamaMax and some very unethical practices he's been employing with his latest video subject. I'd like to, on the record, state that I fully disavow everything he's doing. The situation with him has admittedly been an absolute mess, and I've tried to give him advice on how to navigate through it properly, yet it's gone ignored at every turn. I've since cut ties with Max completely. Someone who I thought I knew and at once considered a friend unfortunately isn't who I thought he is at all, and it's fucking heartbreaking, but it is what it is. I cannot stand by someone who acts the way that he does while handling such a delicate situation without any sense of tact. I'm quite frankly embarrassed I ever stood up for him in the past, and while I can't take that part back, I can at least move forward without any further support. To any of you affected by my friendship and with or in support of Max in the past, I sincerely apologize. I typically am better at this, at vetting who I associate with. However, after this shitstorm, I feel like I never really knew Max at all. Love you guys. Thank you for all your support, right? So I gotta say, man, it is, well, for what it's worth, a pretty impressive feat to fuck up so bad and act so just ridiculous that respected creators who, like, you're supposedly friends with and have audience overlap with are just like openly denouncing you on Twitter, right? Like, that is not a good situation to be in. And it seems like throughout all of these situations, right, all these little micro situations that have just made up the last, like, I don't know, couple weeks of just fucking mess that has been the MamaMax situation, it just seems like everyone who ever really was friends with MamaMax has kind of now distanced themselves or like stepped back, right? Because truth be told, the way that MamaMax has been behaving is just unacceptable, and there's no real way for most sane or rational people to defend somebody acting this way, regardless of whatever crusade that they're supposedly on. It's one of those things where you just have to, I don't know, I feel like pick your own battles, right? And like when people are actually giving you legitimate advice or legitimate criticism or whatever, sometimes it's better to just like not try to sit there and fucking like stroke your own ego than it is to just self-destruct in front of everybody, man. So anyway, with that situation being kind of hopefully wrapped up at this point now, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, of course, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, giving an update on the insane MamaMax developments and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but a big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs here. Your support with just $10 a month unlocks a treasure trove of exclusive videos, constantly updated, archived live stream VODs, and early access to all new uploads. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.